Hey everyone, Conor Cunneen, Irishman speaks here, and I must apologise for the goof I made on this Facebook Live. I was having technical difficulties, and as a result of that, I'm only now coming to you. So apologies for that. My name is Conor Cunneen, Irishman Speaks, coming to you from beautiful downtown Naperville, where the Guinness is good. Well, normally that's when Quigley's is open. The natives are friendly, and I've been force-fed more corned beef and green beer than I ever had in Ireland. I see Lorna O'Regan has joined me. Hi Lorna, how are you doing? Now, the basic idea behind all of this concept here is I want to take you through some simple building blocks that will help you to stay sane, motivated, and productive in this COVID-19 situation, or as we might say in technical terms, crap show. All right? Now, what I'll do is I'll put to you some thoughts that will help you to stay sane, motivated, and productive. And if you're not suffering right now from some kind of cabin fever or some kind of stark craziness, it's quite likely that you've already gone crazy. And the situation that we've got a few other people coming in there. We've got Frank coming in from Boston, I think it is. We've got someone coming in, Gillian, coming in as well. So welcome to the Facebook Live program. If you're not suffering from staph fever or going cabin fever right now, you're probably already, as I said, gone crazy. The situation that we're in right now is that your cash worth is probably declining, and you're very lucky if it isn't. Your self-worth may also be struggling because we are stuck in all of this isolation. However, I can't necessarily help you with your cash worth, but I can help you with your self-worth. And if you do specific intentional things that will help you to stay sane, motivated, and productive, you're going to feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, the people around you, if we've got friends with you or family with you at the moment, they're going to feel better as well. So that's the basic idea. The planning for this is that we'll do Facebook Live events over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we won't have the technical problems that we had right now. The building blocks are based on a book I had written a few years back titled Sheaf Gap, Staying Sane, Motivated, and Productive in Job Search. And the kind of ideas that I had in that book will also be relevant to this. Now, one of the challenges that we have got during this COVID-19 situation is, how do we change the environment that we're in? And I'll give you some basic down-to-earth ideas to help you change the environment in a few minutes' time. And I'm going to tell you and encourage you to go on vacation. Did he say vacation? No. During isolation? He did. But the idea is I'm going to encourage you to go on vacation from where you currently are in your mind. Okay? And we look at the things right now that is creating your environment that you can change, that will make you feel better about yourself, and I literally kind of go on a mental vacation. Now, that's one of the elements of Sheaf Gap. The Sheaf Gap concept, Sheaf Gap is an acronym for 8 building blocks to staying sane, motivated, and productive. All right? Now, I tell my US audiences, and I see we've got quite a few others joining us right now, is that Sheaf Gap is the Irish word for do it or make it happen. And a number of people have actually said to me, Conor, Sheaf Gap does not sound like an Irish word. And I think major umbrage that someone would doubt my integrity. What do they think I am? A politician? Okay, no. But the idea behind Sheaf Gap being an Irish word, though, is that it was a word that was created by an Irish person. Yes, Conor Cunneen, Irishman speaks here. And I suggest that in it meaning do it or make it happen, if we Sheaf Gap the world during this COVID-19 crap show, you can do it, make it happen, and feel better about yourself. So that's the basic logic. The Sheaf Gap 8 building blocks spell out the acronym structure, and having a clear structure, an idea of what you want to do today. H is about help. Help others, you'll help yourself. If you're in isolation, you can reach out and help someone else. You're going to feel better about yourself. They're going to feel better about you as well, and themselves. E is about environment. Let me just actually illustrate here with the sheafgab building blocks here. I did indicate in the promo that when I was printing off the sheafgab building blocks, someone actually printed them upside down. How could someone do that? So I figured out that if I did this, people could actually see the sheafgab building blocks, okay? Screen share is causing me difficulties at the moment. That's where we're going with these real basic audio visual, okay? But the basic idea here is that we've got structure, help, environment, improve yourself. And during this COVID-19 situation, if you would have set yourself a small micro goal to do one thing each day to improve yourself, you'll feel better about yourself. We'll talk about that over the coming days. F is about family and friends. Quite likely right now, despite the fact that you love your family, they might be getting on your nerves from time to time. Guess what? You're likely getting on their nerves as well. So the question is, what can you do to change the environment ever so slightly? G is about goals, A is about attitude, and B is about behavior. We'll cover each of those over coming weeks in a better, higher quality AV presentation. But hey, you got to live with what you've got today. So the idea here I want to speak about primarily is E for environment. And the basic idea behind E for environment is that we are creatures of our environment. I'll illustrate this with a little anecdote. I was on a Zoom call with my brothers in Ireland a couple of days ago. Now, I love them dearly, but they are a bit kind of, I just wonder a little bit about them here. Reason being that my eldest brother is an Arsenal soccer supporter, okay? My youngest brother, God help him, follows Leeds United. You wonder, don't you? I mean, and some of you are probably saying, oh, well, at least they're not Manchester City supporters, or worse, Liverpool supporters. Glory, glory, Man United. That's pretty good going, isn't it? I probably lost 50% of my UK Irish audience right now with all of that. But anyway, okay, the logic though about this environment, your environment creates your behavior. During that conversation with my two brothers, we lapsed into some Irish vernacular, which some people might suggest would be F-bombs. I got off the phone, went out to my darling bride, and she said to me, Conor, I haven't heard you use as many F-bombs since the last time you met with your brothers. And she's probably right. Your environment shapes the way you behave. When I'm in business environment, you will never hear me drop an F-bomb, and I can go days without doing it. But once I get back into the Irish connection, they start coming out. The point is, your environment shapes your behavior. And what I would like you to do now is to think about how your environment right now is shaping your behavior. And there's some ways within your environment, and we'll give you specific ideas in a few seconds' time, that will help you to change the environment, freshen how you feel, freshen where you're working, etc., freshen how you're interacting with people, and you're going to feel better about yourself. You will sheafgab the world, you will do it, you will make it happen. So that's basically what I'll cover today for the next few minutes. For those of you who are joining, you see we've got quite a few others joining. Someone has written in here, super leads. Oh, good Lord, I'm surrounded by people who are strange in the head. Anyway, the idea here now is we're going to look at some things that shape your environment. And what I would ask you to think about is what I did when I was prepping this, and I was supposed to be going out in screencast, but due to technical difficulties, do not adjust your set, it's not happening. We're taking a vacation from our environment. So itemize the things that you do every day that shapes your environment. And I'm talking about things as basic about the alarm clock that goes off in the morning. Okay, I'm talking about where your phone is when you wake up in the morning. What you do first thing when you get out of bed in the morning. What you have for breakfast. The idea is that if you were to take a vacation from where you are right now, what would change? And the simple things that would change, we'll itemize a few more of them in a few minutes, is you would hear a different alarm clock, okay? You would probably get out of bed at a different time. The environment has changed. The phone would not be beside you on your bedside table. Maybe it would be. But what I'm suggesting to you is that if you insist on reading the phone or getting on the phone first thing in the morning when you wake up, put the phone down at the end of the bed or just on a table in your room, okay? So you got to get out of bed. You're changing ever so slightly your environment. And as simple little things like that I'm suggesting to you, you can take a vacation from where you currently are because of your current environment. And when you can take a vacation from your current environment, you're going to feel better about yourself. So what else can we do to change our environment? Okay, we're saying just something as stupid as changing the alarm clock, the sound of it in the morning. Maybe change the time you get out of bed. When you get down to maybe you do a workout, if you do a workout first thing in the morning, do it in a different room or do a different workout. When you finish your workout and then you decide a moment, or sorry, we were stuck there for a second. When you finish your workout, one of the things that I really encourage people to do is to get in, just shower. That's a good idea, by the way. When I was speaking to someone the other day, they said, kind of, if you take that to its literal kind of point about taking a vacation from your current environment, if you've got a second bathroom or shower in the house, take the shower in a different room, okay, than you normally would do. All right. So after you've done the shower, I'm really encouraging, and this is where it drives me crazy, the people who spend their days right now in their pajamas. All right. We're creatures of our environment. We're shaped by the things that are around us. We're shaped by the clothing that we wear, by the clothing that other people wear as well. And if you want to feel productive and perform like you would in your normal work environment, I believe you should actually be wearing the kind of clothing that you wear at your work environment. The other thing is that when you put on fresh clothing, you feel better about yourself, right? So we're taking a vacation from our current environment. We've got out of bed to a different noise. We've got out of bed maybe at a different time. We're taking a shower in a different kind of a way. We're putting on our clothing, etc. Now we go down to the kitchen and we have breakfast, okay? What have you do there? So let's say you're with spouse or with kids, you all have breakfast at the same time. Well, if you've got teenagers, there'll be no time for them to be having breakfast, I'm sure. But let's assume that there's four of you at the kitchen table having breakfast. You're probably having the same breakfast every single time. If you were to take a vacation right now and go away to, let's say, Hawaii, Florida, or whatever, County Cork, Kerry, etc., you would not be having the same breakfast that you had back at home. So ask yourself, how can I just very simply change the breakfast? Another goofball wants to change your environment, and this has caused chaos, all right? Sit on different chairs at your breakfast table. So you sit where your spouse sits, the kids sit somewhere else. It'll cause chaos. It'll probably cause a lot of the kids will be giving out, I want my favorite chair. But it actually just changes the environment again. One of the things that intrigued me is when I speak to corporate clients, I remember this happened in two separate executive rooms that I went into. I look at I do my brief, I get a good brief on the client beforehand, try and figure out where we're going to be meeting, etc. And sometimes I've gone into executive rooms, so large boardrooms where people sit around the table. And you know people have been sitting in the same chair for the last 11 years. The CEO has been at the top of the table sitting in that chair. The CFO then beside him, and the CFO is always beside the CEO, has been sitting in that chair for 6 years. You've got the logistics guy on the other side of the table sitting there for 7 years. The chief marketing officer has been sitting in her chair for 3 months. That's because chief marketing officers never last and they're always turfed out after 6 months, etc. But the basic point is that their butts are encased in those chairs. And what I do, and I've had situations where companies have said to me, Conor, we want to change our culture. I go in and I say, all right, first thing we'll do is I want you to just change what seats you're sitting in. And they can't handle it. These are guys and girls that are saying we need to change our corporate culture. I ask them to change the seats that they're sitting in. They can't handle that. But when they do change, though, it does just change the vibe and the atmosphere in the room, creates a bit more fun. So point is here on this building block that we're talking about, E for environment, find ways, itemize what you're doing during the day that creates your environment, then find ways to change those ever so subtly. Okay, now let's have a look here at a few other ones that I've written down that you could use to change your environment. Okay, um, the place where you have your breakfast, I've spoken about that. Simple little thing. Every one of you has got a favorite mug, probably, or a favorite way of drinking coffee, all right? Which also kind of suggests that you've got a least favorite mug, all right? Do something daft, all right? Next time you're taking a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, use your least favorite mug. What I'm trying to get you to do is to change the patterns that you're in so that we can refresh ourselves. Another example I suggest is that my wife, who I adore and I've been blessed with for so long, does not have particularly good taste in music. She doesn't like Metallica. Okay, I've had to live with that all my life. Okay, what's even worse, she doesn't like Metallica played loud. All right, which is what I like to do when I'm working. But the point I would not make about this now is that I would encourage you, and I do it myself now as well. I would encourage you to, if you're listening to your favorite music, get music that makes you feel good, but change that music from time to time. Hey, I was reduced yesterday to listening to Haydn's 96th Symphony in C major or something, rather than watching Metallica, which raises a question. Who goes to the trouble of writing 96 symphonies? That's another day's discussion, though. Okay, all right. Um, all right. I see Samuel Connor here is suggesting change the time I get out of bed? Question mark, or perhaps not get out of bed at all. I know you, Samuel. You'll get out of bed and you'll be productive as well. So. But I see other people here have joined us. Sue Huners joined us. Mary Jo Granger has joined us. We've got people in from uh, Boston, I know, and from London as well. So welcome everyone. We're talking about Chief Gab, staying sane, motivated, and productive during job search. The content here, if you're joining it late, is find ways to change the current environment that you're in, and you'll feel better about yourself. A few other simple little things. If you're used to watching a particular news programs, okay, we'll keep MSNBC and Fox out of this, but let's say you wake up normally in the morning, you turn on your favorite ABC or CBS, all right, watch a different channel, okay. In the evening news, watch a different news program. It's just again another simple way of changing the material. What I also do suggest is, I see someone here has put in terms of changing your environment. Um, uh, with Eve Buckman is obviously a Sex Pistols fan, I think, because he's made some reference to them, which I won't necessarily refer to here. But in terms of the television programs that you're watching, all right, one of the things I'm seeing or hearing is that people are binge watching. I would encourage you to stop binge watching and just set aside only an hour or two each evening to watch one or two programs. Gang, you're going to have enough time. If you're into binge watching some programs, instead of watching them all over 3 nights, you're going to have 3 weeks to watch them. Look at the bright side. Okay, so all the things I'm suggesting you would do is, I see someone here is making a comment, they bring flowers into their office space, and I actually do like that. When I was watching one of the news programs this morning, I can't remember which one of the people from, that was one of the co-anchors that was broadcasting from home, actually had a really nice bunch of tulips just in the background. I thought, hey, that looks really nice. Okay, so you can do simple little things like that. Other ways that you can improve your environment. Do you read? I bet if you read, if you're reading books or magazines, you're doing it in the same chair, in the same room, day after day. Why not take that book and just go to a different room, to a different chair, and it's just going to refresh your environment as well. So there are some simple little ideas. Have I else? Oh, yes, another one I've got is meals. Okay, I've referenced previously about breakfast. If you were to go on vacation, you wouldn't be having the same breakfast that you're having right now. Okay, the same thing applies to the meals that you are having. Why not look in your larder or look in your fridge and see, what have I got in there that I have not really used for quite some time, or can have me to create a different dish or a different meal. This is a mind game, gang. We can't really improve our cash deposit right now. Hopefully we'll better do it pretty soon. But we can improve our mental deposit and how we feel about ourselves. But it ain't going to happen unless you make an effort to make it happen, to sheaf-gab the world to do it and to make it happen. And for those of you who are joining in, basically what I said earlier is that sheaf-gab, I claim, is the Irish word for do it or make it happen, because it was created by this Irish guy. But you can sheaf-gab the world, you can do it, you can make it happen when you work on this. I want to leave you one final story. And just because you want something to happen does not mean it is going to happen. You've got to make a deliberate, intentional effort to make it happen. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. If nothing else out of this Facebook Live program here, say to yourself, all right, I'm going to do one thing to change my environment. And the great thing about it, if you do one thing and achieve it, you'll say, hey, I feel slightly better about myself. Now I'll do two things to change my environment. Okay? But it's got to be a decision to do it. And I'll tell you a story about Patrick, who was a good living Irishman, for those of you who might have not have heard it previously. Patrick was a good living Irishman who ran into some financial difficulties. And this now is a story with a moral, gang, okay? Patrick's granddad died after Patrick had run into all these financial difficulties. Patrick went out to the granddad's house to clean out the house. And after he cleaned out the house, he went out to the garage. And when he got out to the garage, he brushed against a lamp. And out of the lamp popped no, not a genie, a leprechaun. Get with the program, my people. Get with the program. The leprechaun said, hey, Patrick, how are you? I'll give you one wish. And Patrick said, huh? I thought you guys gave 3 wishes. And leprechaun said, hey, Patrick, this is COVID-19, man. Cutbacks. Patrick said, okay, leprechaun, if you let me win the lottery, I'll pay off all of my debts. I'll give the rest of it away to charity. Leprechaun says, okay, I'll let you win the lottery. 1 week goes by, there's no lottery win. 2 weeks go by, there is no lottery win. And after week 3 and no lottery win, Patrick goes back out to the garage again, brushes against the lamp, rubs the lamp, and out of the lamp pops a leprechaun. Yes, a learning audience. I love it. All right. Leprechaun says, what can I do for you now, Patrick? Leprechaun, you told me I'd win the lottery and I haven't. To which the leprechaun responds, Patrick, give me some help here. At least buy a lottery ticket. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. All right. Really old story, but a story with a moral. And the moral is that just because you want something to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just because you want to feel better about yourself, that ain't going to happen. You've got to take some intentional, deliberate steps to make it happen. Just because you want to reduce the tension that might be happening in the household right now, that ain't going to happen just because you want it to happen. You can make an effort, an action to reduce the tension. So that's basically what I want to leave you with today. Just one of the building blocks from the sheaf-gab concept, staying sane, motivated and productive during COVID-19, also known as this crap show. Okay? If you're interested in more detail, I'll be doing Facebook Live next Tuesday and Friday, just covering other elements of it. Thanks for all the thumbs up, gang, that are appearing right now. If you're interested in the book, you can see details of it behind me there, Staying Sane, Motivated and Productive in Job Search. It is available if you want to purchase it at the Jeff Bezos Appreciation and Retirement Fund, otherwise known as Amazon. You can get it for hard paperback copy or on Kindle for just $2.99. I will be offering it free probably in a couple of weeks' time again, but Kindle has a limit on the number of days you can actually offer books for free. So this is Conor Cunneen, Irishman Speaks, broadcasting to you from beautiful downtown Naperville, where, as I say, the Guinness is good, the natives are friendly, and we've been force-fed more corned beef and green beer than I ever had in Ireland. My request to you is just do one thing of the many ideas I've thrown out to you to help you to stay sane, motivated and productive, and it will make a difference. Stay well, my friends, stay healthy, and this crap show will soon be over. Be good and cheers.